town at the end of the 23rd, so day 23 of Advent. I've gotten you footage today of our drive. I've gotten you footage and take you on a tour of the Air BnB we stayed at last night, which was quite nice. And especially if you have animals, pets, and or are carrying horses, they board your horse and you get to stay in the Air BnB. So it was really cool, really comfortable bed. So, and that nice place. And what you will see next is the footage of me taking you on a tour of the place, talking about it, showing you the rooms, so on and so forth. And then after that, I show you 2 new embroidery stitches, and that will be wrapping up our Advent Christmas ornament. Extravaganza will be done, finished. I'm hoping that if we get to our Air BnB tonight, I can hang the tree up and show you all of them. Now, I'm just going to say it's not going to happen. You're going to see them tomorrow. I'll put them up in the morning, and that'll be the first scene as you come in tomorrow on our Advent Extravaganza of the 24th. So, yeah, we have made our way down Central California today, and Nicole had a little bit of car trouble. Her car, she's driving a Tesla, and the chargery thing stopped working, so she had to spend some time at the repair center and is now driving a rental, but they're keeping her car to fix it while she drives the rental all the way to Tucson and then comes back at the end of her vacation, which was pretty nice. So at least there's that. We were a little worried that we were going to have to cancel or do something, try to figure out what to do with our reservation. Anyway, that's it for today, or that's what you're going to see coming up, and then I'll pop back for a wrap up at the end. So our Airbnb last night has sheeps. I'm going to try and zoom in for you. Look at that. I don't think I've seen that variety before. I'm going to have to try and look him up. They're looking at us though. Whoop. It's muddy out here. There we go. I don't know what that variety is, but they're very poofy. And it looks like they had a fall shear. And then also on this farm, and I think this is the owner's horses, we have 2 horses. Oh, that looks muley. I think that might be a mule. I can't see him close enough to tell. He might just be a small horse. Oh, and that guy's got a tail bag or something hanging off of him that's Christmassy. They're eating breakfast, clearly. So we're out in the country, and oh, let me zoom you back out. This is the backyard. So what's nice about this place is they take pets with rules, like don't let the pets on the furniture. Here's Mr. Green this morning. Mr. Green, good morning. I think it's a mobile home, but it's super nice inside, isn't it? I'll take you inside and show it to you. So we're coming in through the back door. This is the back door out to the grass. Fenced yard. Washer and dryer. Kitchen. Really nice kitchen. Kitchen with a full fridge. Little raised dining room table. And then it's 3 bedrooms. Here's the living room. TV. This is the main bedroom with a queen size bed. Nice kitchen. Toilet. Bathtub with shower. Walk-in closet, but we're not staying that long. Very nice though. You could put a baby in there. And then the other end of the house, we have the guest bathroom. Second bedroom, also queen size bed. Very nice and big. And a twin room. With the light off, but a twin room. There we go. And a twin room. Was the bed comfortable, Grant? Oh, cute turkey photo. I know my bed, I think, was the Wayfair bed. It was very comfortable. Better than the hotel we stayed in last night. The only criticisms I would have about this place is that the bed was super comfortable, but the internet was really bad. But I can't say that's unusual out in the countryside, so it's hardly room to complain, especially if you've got a dog or a horse. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. that these guys, if you're carrying a horse, you can stay here and board your horse for the night. Here's their card. I'll put the info in the info below. Way down that pathway is the gate into this place. It's 2 separate gates. And then this is the neighbor's back 40. And then the horses live back through that gate. And then the garage that probably used to be part of this mobile home but isn't anymore. And then we have, that's where our host lives. And then back is, and then this is the mobile home. I'm doing twirlies. It's quite nice. Very nice. Very well done. So what you're going to see next is I'm going to show you how to do 2 new stitches. One is the Bullion Stitch, and I did that on Santa's face, but I also, because the footage disappeared, I have put some onto the scarf on the squirrel so that you can see what it looks like and see how to do it. The next stitch I'm going to show you is called Granitos, or Granny's Toes. I don't know what, when I get to the part where I'm talking and I say Granny's Cankles, clearly not. I kind of do that with words a lot. I have my whole life. Just ask Kelly. But Granny's Toes, and it makes much more sense with Granny's Toes because you get a little chubby oval stitch. But it's super, both of these stitches are really fun to do, and not ones that you get to do very often. In fact, in this, I did mostly back stitch and outline stitch. But when it's not, it's really nice to be able to do something with a bit of flair and texture. So to create this stitch, you're going to do a straight stitch, like a satin stitch, come up back to where you started that stitch, don't pull it all the way down, and then you're going to wrap your needle around and around and around and around. And you can do this as many times as you like. To give it dimension. And then to tighten it, you just tug and it tightens up, and then you go back down in the same spot you did your. Because I maybe pulled this too tight, I'm going to distribute my twirls there, and it's in. And so again, just like a satin stitch, up, down, and this is the base for your stitch, and then I'm going to come back up over here at the beginning of my satin stitch, and then wrap my yarn or my thread around and around and around. The biggest thing to worry about is that I need to keep the thread back away. I don't want to accidentally make a knot. Around, and then see as that distributes out, tighten it, push that needle back down, and I have a stitch. Back up. I'm gonna push this over. I'm gonna go down the same hole just because I made it the last one a little crooked. So around, back up, and then twirl that thread around your single satin stitch. There, around, and around, around, and around and around. Distribute it. I'm distributing it while I'm also tightening up the stitch and down. And then I think I can fit one more in here. So there's that. Create my satin stitch. And then wrap around that satin stitch. 1, 2, 3. About 5. Yep, 5 stitches is enough. And down. There. And that is the stitch you missed. yesterday. And because it's morning and my brain isn't working, I can't remember what I called it. So I will type it in right here and then you'll know what this stitch is called. Cool though, isn't it? It gives it right nice in dimension. And it kind of makes it look like I used, to knit his scarf, I used boucle or something, which I like. In addition, on this design, and I'm going to turn it so you can see the squirrel right side up now. Let's make sure we're in the picture here. I used outline stitch for his ears. I used the back stitch to go around his body in the yellow. I used, this is the Lazy Daisy stitch. The only difference is that I haven't joined the top of the daisy stitch, and so I made a V instead of a petal shape. And then satin stitch for the bottom of the acorn, satin stitch for the blue on the scarf, and then this twisted fancy stitch that I again will put up in the on this screen typed so that I can tell you what the name of the stitch is, because I'm brain dead. Here, French knots. All right, squirrel is done. I just have to put him together and he will go on the tree tonight. I'm gonna do both. I'm doing the last two ornaments today for you. There's another stitch to show you on the next ornament. And so we'll be ready to go. And notice I'm still using the same piece of muslin that I attached these lone stitches to. Oh no, oh there's my scissors. These lone stitches to, so that I can put these last ones in. And I'll show you in just a second, because this guy's now done. I'm gonna pull it out, so I have my, looks like I'm gonna have to have help. I have my scissors to help pull out this basting stitch. Pull it out. I'll be able to use this thread to sew up the ornament shortly. There we go. Now I can pull everything. There, now this ornament's off, and we'll stitch on the next one. And I'll show you how I did that. So it is easier to anchor my muslin, and then thread my, this is just the thread I use to sew the ornaments together. There. And then what I do is lay the next ornament I'm going to work on top of the hole. And then let's make sure I hit the hole. Might as well try and do that. Let's pull it over here and stitch it on. Just gonna baste around it with big giant running stitches. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm hitting the hole. I'm not trying to stitch through the hole, I'm stitching on the frame around it. And you know, I may have some hole exposed. It's not rocket science, it's not important, just so that we get around this thing. There. I'll do a jump. Let's see if I can get this to anchor. Oh, yep, I can twist it over. There. Maybe I'll do some bridging stitches there, just to hold it there. There. And then back to my basting around here. And it's just a temporary hold while I get this finished up embroidering. I could have moved it over, but it's fine. There. It's important to go all the way around, just so that it's well anchored. Okay, that's done. I'm not even going to cut that off. Now, I have found that the muslin doesn't hold very well in my hoop. So what I do is this linen or this more coarse cotton does hold better. So I just pop my hoop off and pop it back on, and that way this is helping to hold this. I could wrap just a bit of seam tape or woven tape around this. I just didn't. All right, the next stitch. See this little stitch right now? It's right down here. It is, there's a Spanish name for that stitch, and it is called like Grandma's Legs or something. And again, brain dead this morning. I should have this name in my head for you, but I do not. So I'm going to type it in as you watch this and you'll get to see it. It's good to have these things in writing anyway, isn't it? And then we're going to, with red, I'm going to show you the stitch because it is rather nifty. I'm separating my thread for you here, and of course it's fuzzy and it's giving me grief. This is the tail end of a twofer that is not being very helpful. I'm down to the very ends of my threads. So it's all the stuff that I abandoned that was difficult to divide and stuff that I'm now having to deal with. I did grab some extra out of my stash, but alrighty. There we go. I have a little bit of red here, and I'm going to show you this cool stitch, another dimensional stitch. And the way it works is, see how that little circle design, you get a little oval, but you get a poofy little oval, which I like. So it is just a satin stitch, but what you do is you go out one hole into the next, out of exactly the same hole that you went out of before, but make sure with your thumb that you anchor that stitch down and go into the same hole that you went in before. And we just gently pull so that it stacks up and makes like a melon shape. And then I'm going to go around the other side, down into the exact same hole and out the same hole. Well, let's pull this down. And we're going to go back in and pulling it off to the side. And we just layer this like orange segments or melon segments over and over, coming into the same and out of the same, over and over, until David's getting into the car. Out of the same and into the same hole, over and over and over, laying that off to the side. And a stiletto will help if you've got one, but you can also just use your thumb. And we've got, I think, 2 more stitches. And you can carry on, I guess, doing this over and over again. Oop, that one popped back on top. So let's push it over to the side. And then out here. But I think it's funny because the name is something like Grandma's Cankles or Mom's Cankles, only in Spanish. Oh, and I've just undone that one. There we go. So we have these 3 stitches. Now all I have left to do is to do the upper part of this candle, and I'm going to do that on my own because I think I'm going to do a long and short stitch to do the upper part of that candle. And we will be done with all of our ornaments. I'm going to put the last 2 up on the tree tonight, and then I get to start something new. Hooray! All right. And here we have the final tree with all 12 ornaments on board. We have today's squirrel with the Bullion Stitch. We have the first one I made, my poinsettia, the owl, snowflake 2, snowflake 1, pony, kind of a Scandinavian pony, teddy bear with the present. Let's go Santa. Santa, he also has a Bullion Stitch on his beard. Let's see if I can zoom in on that one so you can see that stitch. That's what happens when you send the bullion off in all different directions and stack them, versus this one where it's just a simple bullion. And then the candle you saw today with Granitos, which means little grains or grains. All right. All right, I hope you enjoyed this Advent tree production. It is now done. That's it for today. We have just gotten to our second Air BnB. So I'll make sure and tour this, and I'll put this in tomorrow's footage. No, we don't need 2 Air BnBs in the same footage, but I gotta say, this one's really nice. You're gonna like it. All right, so that's it for tonight. I'm going to see you tomorrow on the 24th. That'll be Christmas Eve. Guess what we're gonna be doing? Driving. Hopefully we'll get to see something fun. Christmas Day, well, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we're slotted for Lake Havasu. So we're going to see London Bridge for Christmas. That's our trip. And then we get to Arizona Christmas Day. So we're driving Christmas Day. We're having we're putting off our Christmas celebrations for one more day just to see what's going on. And we've had fun. Both Grant and Nicole and Mr. Green and David and I are having fun seeing these cool Airbnbs, because we probably would have just stayed in hotels if it'd been us. So it's nice. It's nice to see some parts of town that we're not used to seeing. There is something going on. This is the town of Exeter that we have just arrived at, but I'm not sure if we haven't arrived too late because it's 8 o'clock. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you get something from the embroidery stitches that I've got recorded for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.